It is.
You believe this?
Except for Tom.
Except for Tom, but
Tom
quiet.
over there.
Tom goes way
I
back.
can be quiet and let you guys reminisce about.
If he goes back into his
the
broom
early
closet,
days.
it's the OG.
Tom,
crew.
you look lonely over there on TV.
Well, I'm not going to sit. Listen, Mark's not here, and the last thing I'm going to
Man.
do is take his seat.
He's gotten comfortable with that corner bar position. And I like that.
it. You can rotate.
Yeah.
You know, I can move
It's
around.
nice.
get
And we're
drinks.
back.
And we're back after.
And listen,
a layoff.
this
Back,
is our
baby.
first show in a while, and we're missing two key components. Fink and Mark Goodhart are both at the
Sixers game.
Sixers game.
That was kind of on me. I didn't even really think about whether there was going to be a Sixers game when I said we were going to do this. It's all right. There's plenty of them.
Yeah, it's only like game 4 of the season. We'll be good.
We're not that worried about it. We'll talk about that for sure. I'm not that worried about them not being here, frankly, since we got such a deep roster.
Right.
And this is the OG
The
crew.
OG squad.
And just if you're listening, we got Mike Meach over here to my right. I got Roger Rocker Matthews to my left. This is the OG squad that started doing this a long time ago. And if you've been paying attention since then, shout out to you.
And introduce yourself as well. This is
I forgot.
Jesse Rendell.
Jesse Rendell. I don't know what significance that is, but
Did you
here
ever
we
tell
are.
him what the City Pigeons means? Like what the inspiration
What
was?
the inspiration
for that?
for City Pigeons? It actually occurred to me the other day that a lot of people may have jumped on and not heard me explain that before. So I'll do it very briefly. And actually, we started this.
How dare you not been hanging around since episode 1 of the City
if you don't know
Pigeons
what the City Pigeon story is, then you're not a
57
real one.
episodes ago.
Well, I meant the name more so than how everybody got together. But long time ago, I was thinking about how to name this thing, and was thinking about how us as Philadelphia fans generally are kind of like lining up to walk off a cliff. This is when things were really bad. This was right when the whole Ben Simmons thing was going down. I was in a dark place. But I was trying to think like what's an animal that's kind of like that, and I was like, oh, pigeons are perfect, and I was like, well, I can't just call it pigeons, And then I thought, well, it needs to be like two things. It needs to be something pigeons, and I said city pigeons, and then I started thinking about it. I was like, city pigeons they're stupid, but they're kind of
I've had
gutsy.
I've had a few people say like, yo, this dude does a podcast. It's called Philly Pigeons. Like I've had like 3 or 4 people say that. Like, no, it's
I had a guy who called it City of Pigeons. I mean, people do with it what they want. That's fine. But yeah, to me, it was just like, us as fans, we're like stupid for signing up for the same old heartbreak. Speaking of that,
Speaking of which,
but we'll get right in there. We'll come up to you and ask you for the food. You know what I mean? We're cunning at the same time, and we're gutsy. So anyway, that's where the name came from. If that's what you're asking for, I don't really know. But good to have the OG squad together. A lot has happened in the past couple of weeks, and hasn't all been great. But we're trying to turn the page.
Hopeful. Our last episode,
I know
we had World Series aspirations, and
it hurts.
It does kind of hurt. And you know what hurts the most, dude? Like I've thought about it, and like I'm numb to the pain now. Last year, I was pissed that we lost the World Series because we were up, and then we had coming back to Philly. But 2 years in a row, we've lost both games at home in a crucial series with 2 of our best pitchers. And now, actually, this series, we got our 3 best pitchers in the game because Zach Wheeler actually relieved in that. So we had Nola, Ranger, and Wheeler, and we still – so all that talk about the home field advantage, it means nothing when you can't hit a baseball. So it's tough. Baseball's a cruel sport, man. We were cruising. We were just smacking solo homers left and right, and then –
there was too much carrying on, in my opinion, man.
There's always carrying on in baseball, Rock. Every team carries on.
They had
too much carrying on.
Yeah, too much carrying on. They should have acted like they've been there before, man.
Did you make this point? Somebody made this point when they were looking at the Diamondbacks, how they were like celebrating, but like they looked focused. Whereas with us, it was like a celebration of epic proportions every time.
Yeah, every time we fought. Yeah,
I think I did. Yeah, and at the end of the day, that's all nonsense. That's afterwards you could read somebody's bio and say, "Hey, he wasn't focused because he was celebrating." But listen, when you're on that kind of run, you just you celebrate.
I just think you got to get into like a mind state of like an attack, kill, Kobe mentality, Mamba mentality type. There looks like just too much carrying on for me. Like every hit they're doing the fucking.
But even Kobe,
league thing, and
because he brought that up. Even Kobe, that wasn't a universally accepted approach, right? Like that didn't work all across the board. And my point is just the team.
How many rings does Kobe have?
Wow, that's a good point. I'm just saying, like, not everybody marches to beat that drum. This team had amazing chemistry. That's they're celebrating whatever had nothing to do with it.
But this is 2 years in a row now.
for sure.
It is
That they've
too.
lost at
You think
home.
if they were more focused,
I
When they
just,
should've
I'm not
won.
saying it's like a
less carrying on.
yeah. It was just too much for me, man. Like, the saying, act like you've been there before. Act like you've been there before, and like get further.
Here's another saying: don't go 1 for 25 with your best players in the last 2
Yeah,
games.
Well, maybe if
Game
they
6
were,
and 7.
maybe if they went to batting
it was
practice that day.
disgusting
Now-
how none of them could get a hit at home. It
You
was
guys are really
yeah.
pissing me off, and I'll tell you why. Because I actually wanted to ask you guys this: how you deal with grief, right? Because everyone deals with
this
grief
is how
differently.
this is
Just like
how
the-
I'm
I
dealing
know,
with it
but
by
the-
talking. You guys
I
are my
eat it.
therapy. Otherwise, I'd be
I know,
paying,
but it's now
in actual therapy.
what are we? We're like a week and a couple days removed, right? For me,
Well, you're opening up the wound by inviting me on to
the
this
podcast,
podcast
right.
and asking me to talk
Right,
about
but
it. I can't not.
I didn't know that we
state-
would get into an analysis.
We could
of why it happened.
ignore it and pretend it didn't happen.
Well, see, and that you led me right into it because that's how I deal with things. That's why the City Pigeons have not done really anything in the past week because I just
You
like
went into a funk.
yeah, I shut it down, man. I do not want
You
to
were in
talk.
a dark place.
Honestly, I didn't even go into my office the next day because I didn't want to see people because I knew they were going. And look, that's I set myself up for that, right? Like people when
No,
I
it's
see
a legit
people,
feeling, and believe me,
They
you're
wanna
not
talk
alone.
to me.
There's people listening, going, "I agree with you, man."
yeah.
Yeah,
but
there was a
like
guy
that-
in my office. Shout out my man Blake. He
Okay, Blake.
he watches the
From
podcast.
Workaholics.
No, he had the same thing. He didn't come in to work the next day. I was like, "Why aren't you here?" He's like, "Phillies lost." He's like, "Yeah, man, I'm bummed." So
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about, man.
Just don't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
But it's weird, like, and not to get too deep, but like in my real life, when like I know somebody who has a family member that died or something sad, my grief coping mechanism is to just like put it out of my mind, which is not like I know not a healthy approach. Now this is
How
a lot.
how you equating
great.
somebody in your family dying?
I didn't say my family. I said my
Someone
family.
else's family.
No, but I have a very hard time thinking about things that are sad, and I just push
Right.
them out. Now this is not
Right.
sad in the same way, but I'm
keep
telling
going.
you,
Hey, keep
No,
going.
I get
Jesse.
it. I get it.
I just
It's-
don't want to deal with it. I don't want to talk about it.
It's a
You know,
normal coping.
So wait,
mechanism.
after a loss like that, after they get knocked out, do you indulge in like the negativity of the normal Philadelphia sports
Okay.
talk?
So it's funny. I'm very conflicted about that. I'll kind of like dab a little and then I'll get like upset. But I see these guys that work on the radio and it's their job, right? They got to go in, talk about it. And it sounds like some of them really like it, playing the blame game. And that I just can't even deal with.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
weird.
want to do that. you know what I
Especially
mean?
because I did the same shit. I was like, man, this was all Topper's fault. And then I'm like, wait, no matter what position he put these guys in on the field, if they can't hit, it's not
Right,
Topper's
right,
fault.
right.
So it's their fault. And then I'm like, well, it's not really their fault. But it's at the end of the day, it's just very frustrating, and you want to place blame on someone, I guess. But I can't play.
I
that
just want to
shit.
call myself out too, because I make up some bullshit sometimes. I'm sitting here I make up these words that you see here, folks. And I wrote, sting of Phil's collapse eases as Harden exits and Cowboys come to town. And you know what? I just want you to know, I have no idea. Does the sting of the Phil's collapse ease at all? I just made that
I didn't
shit
read
up.
that shit, but
Yeah, you
no,
didn't read
that's,
that.
yeah, that's.
I can
that's
say anything.
wrong.
Next time I'm going to write like, Meech, dirtbag scum, loses a bunch of bets, family questions him.
But here's the other thing. It just goes to show you, baseball is like it's a crapshoot, man. You could be hot as shit, and then all of a sudden, a team wins like 2 in a row against you. You're like, wow, now we can't hit anymore. We're only swinging at bad pitches. It's a cruel.
You guys
sport.
take any solace in like knowing that? So obviously the Diamondbacks lost last night. Do you take any solace?
I
in,
don't
like,
give a
them
shit.
losing to.
That was the most lamest, most boring World
I didn't watch
Series
that.
ever.
I asked Meech earlier. I was like, do you care?
I
that they
saw
lost?
that
I said,
the
it's not like they're the Mets or
women's
something.
national
Right.
championship NCAA game got higher ratings than Game 4 of the
No.
World Series this year.
Well, that's no knock.
I
on
didn't
the
watch
women's
any of
game.
the World Series, surprisingly. So
No, it's a
Uh,
knock on the World
nobody
Series,
did.
is what it is. It
Okay,
shouldn't, it shouldn't
but-
be outdrawn by the women's national championship.
I do like to kind of pull back the levels of the thinking when it comes to certain instances like this. And I do always wonder. And it's so funny because I feel like year after year, I find myself in this position where I'm like, do I root for or against the team that knocked us out of the damn
It
playoffs?
depends.
And here's how I feel with the Diamondbacks. Because there's a part of you that's like, all right, well, if they go on to win, we lost to the hot team, it makes sense. But when they planted their flag on our field, I was like, fuck
Fuck
those
that.
guys.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's
Go
right.
Rangers.
Yeah,
How dare that?
Here's my thinking with that.
Someone should have come out and
Should
fought
I
them.
root against it? if it's in our division, I don't want them to win. If they're not in our division, I don't give a shit. Who win, lose, I don't care.
Yeah, I'm with you on
I
that.
don't
man.
want a Met or a Braves fan to be happy, or
Can you name a
Marlins fan.
Diamondback?
Can I
How
just
many
say-
Other
Diamondbacks
actual
can you name?
Marlins
I
fans.
see Willie Wong in the chat here, and I'm looking at this conversation. I feel like he's having a conversation. He's talking about things. Nita's in there. I'm not even sure they're actually paying attention to the show. Like, it feels like they're having a separate dialogue in the chat. It's
Yo,
very
isn't
unclear
there?
to me.
Is
So
that
since
an
we have
old
this,
chat?
They're enjoying the
since
chat.
we have this
as far as-
That's
fancy
an
new
old chat.
technology, right?
That's
What's it
not
called?
the-
Stream East.
Okay.
StreamYard.
Wait,
StreamYard.
who's this? He says he feels like a City Pigeons OG, and honestly just learned where the name came from. My bad, dude. Yeah, that's
Wooly.
on me. I'm surprised. We
So
never
wait,
talked about
real quick.
that.
Since we have this
Yo,
technology,
thanks for your
here,
YouTube account, by the way. We're watching one of the games on that.
is there a way that we could get a listener or a follower to just hop in and like we see him on TV?
Yeah,
Can you throw the link in the chat and like?
Whoa,
I mean,
then anyone can jump in. This
so
thing
what?
is-
Who the fuck's gonna jump in here?
Well, how many people
I mean,
are there?
let's
we
start.
got 9 people.
And we
in
have
there.
to-
All 9 of them come.
Don't we have to like accept
Twitter's
them coming
different,
in?
though. There could be more Twitter.
Yeah, we can let them in.
Nita,
All right.
hop in. See what do you got to say, Nita? Wooly, yeah.
See what happens.
Throw the link
I mean,
in
I'm
the
open
chat.
for anything.
Oh, I see Finky in there.
All right, hold on. Let's get Fink in real quick.
Yeah, throw the link. Yeah,
Whoa.
throw the link in the
Oh.
chat. Like,
All right.
Am I?
Yo,
am I
you living
live?
that box life?
Yeah, you're here, buddy. Usually, it's good with headphones if you don't have those, but that's fine.
I don't have
Can you hear
headphones. I'm live at the Sixers game right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that.
Where's your boy Franklin at?
He just so Franklin blew it already. He had to hit a target for t-shirts, and he missed the target so bad that they had the fans grab t-shirts that were already on, and they put it in the
I
target.
love it.
It was embarrassing.
Yeah, it looks like-
it was very embarrassing.
It looks like you're in some high society box life up there. Is that
Shout
correct?
Shout out my friends at Lycios.
Okay,
You guys like that logo though?
that's a nice
That's
one.
nice,
Yeah.
dude.
Hey, here we
Oh,
might be-
DK.
Oh, what up? What up?
Wait, real quick.
One of us.
Look
What
at
up,
those
TK?
hoodies. We
Fink.
need those hoodies.
Hold up, real quick. Now, I don't know if DK can hear me, but I was listening to the radio this morning, and a certain somebody called in to Life Advice with the Hammer and complained about how his significant other likes the temperature at 50 degrees. Now, if that's true, that is psychotic behavior, but Fink is getting called out for doing that in the first place, Dev. I don't know.
It's
Yeah.
her. She's the one that keeps it so
Thank
cold.
you. Shout out to James Seltzer because it was a Twitter reply that Eric sent. I think this for Ask Me Anything. I don't keep. He's being dramatic. I don't keep it at 50. It's 65.
No, it's
What do you
60.
keep it at?
I have to wear a hoodie and pants at
It's
all
not
times. I
50.
can't wear
Soft.
shorts.
That's soft,
Hold on,
buddy.
hold
That's
on.
soft.
Did you say 65?
Yes.
No, it's not.
That's perfect
That's
sleeping
not.
temperature.
Proven to be the temperature that humans sleep the best at, and it
All
makes you fat more while you sleep.
Okay. I got to
Okay.
give everybody
She opened the window the other night when the temperature dropped to 40 degrees because it was too warm inside when it was set at 60. Like,
Yeah,
let's
were you in there? Were you in there farting when it was
Get outta here.
45 outside?
Gee,
I don't think you're
way to
right.
get in a
get her out of here. This is about me.
Wasn't he talking about that one
I
day?
got my boy Divion here.
Yo, oh,
Yo, what up,
yeah,
Div?
What up? Let's go.
What up,
He was
D?
trying to hide.
Hell yeah.
Wait.
Fink, what's your report on the Sixers so far after the first half? How are the Sixers looking?
Why- They look good, but I don't know why we're playing Korkmaz in the fucking first quarter at all.
Thank you. What
That's
did I
because
say when I
Oubre got
walked in?
2 fouls, dude.
Yeah, the
Like,
more,
why
the
the
more
fuck? And then I'm sitting in the box next to the Sixers social media people, and they are going nuts in the box for Korkmaz. So I think they're mocking me on purpose.
Yeah, no, that's like.
But they,
Yeah, I
but, like
got-
someone in the box, they yelled, "The Turkish delight!" And then the next thing that came out, they have a tweet that says, "The Turkish superstar." He has 5 fucking points. Grow the fuck up. Use my language. I'm so
Well-
mad.
how's the crowd down there, Fink?
Attendance is lacking. Attendance is lacking.
Attendance is lacking.
Okay.
The
Because they
crowd's
keep
not
driving
bad.
up
Back-to-back
prices.
Raptors games in a week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
back-to-back Raptors.
It's a Thursday, I'm out here, drinking, but the crowd isn't rowdy or anything like that. But
Have you run into our guy Mark Goodhart down there?
not yet. I'm going down now to get some food and more beverages. So
This is great.
I'm gonna go.
He's literally
I'm gonna go find
walking
out what
down
this
the
guy
concourse.
All right, report back when you see Mark over there. All right.
All right, I love
baby.
you guys. Have fun.
We love you.
All right,
We
later.
miss
Thanks,
you.
thanks for the report, man.
That was
Appreciate
great.
it. Reporting live.
Yeah,
Guys, you don't get that. You don't get that on
our,
on
our
other
in-game
podcasts.
announcer.
You just don't get it. I'm sorry.
like it.
You're not fucking getting
something
it.
about fuck Korkmaz or 5 fucking points.
Well, they
That's
had
what I
to
got
put him
out
in
of that.
because apparently other teams are rejecting the notion of him being included in trades.
That's absolutely
I feel
ridiculous
bad
that
for the
he's
dude.
like
It's just what-
he
probably just wants
demanded to be
ball for
traded.
some team and no one's letting him.
Yeah.
So
Even Saric is getting run with Golden State this year.
Dario,
Is that where
forgot
Dario
about him.
is? Golden State.
He's a wall.
So, Meech, real quick, can you tell us where we should be? Going back to, and not that we have a responsibility to keep up with the stupid things I do, but I did put, and I don't know if anyone actually looks at these episode covers that I put on YouTube, but I did put a picture of James Harden in a cowboy hat, which I should get credit for finding that online. That was great. And then the guy on the cowboy, we'll get to the Cowboys thing, but I want to hear, I think most people want to hear from Meech on Harden, what the deal is with the Sixers, how we should be looking at the season and the NBA in general. And then we also want to hear about your betting, but let's get into the NBA real quick.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I had zero hope for the Sixers this year.
He said had, folks. He said he had.
I wasn't looking forward. See, I'm a hoops head, so I knew I was going to watch basketball, and I would eventually get sucked into the Sixers just because I watch basketball.
What else is there to do?
And there's nothing else to do.
Basketball is and the NBA is fantastic. As they
Yeah,
say.
it's like the
As
old.
they say, dude.
Remember that was the old
It's
slogan.
fantastic.
It's NBA. It's fantastic.
I'm with you on it.
So I can't stay away from the NBA, but I had no interest in watching a James Harden-led Sixers team this year. And the fact that they got this trade pulled off it's amazing to me because they only had one team that was interested in Harden. So you think if you're that one team, you have all the I'm not giving you these guys. I'm not giving you a first round pick. I'm not giving you an unprotected first round pick. I'm not giving you every guy on an expiring contract. I'm not taking on your 37-year-old guy making $10 million a year for the next 2 years. But they did it. And the players we got back are inconsequential.
They'll all be gone next year, pretty much.
All of them will be gone, and we'll have a bunch of cap space. But in the meantime, you could still trade those guys and get a player this year.
Yeah.
I know people were talking about Zach LaVine. They're even talking about Anunoby, who's carving us up.
Yeah,
tonight,
Zach LaVine, I think, is the wrong move.
I don't really like those. But
Zach LaVine gets paid a ton of money.
Next year is also you have to think next year was also one of the worst free agent classes in recent memory.
Next year?
Wait, I gotta ask a question because
dude,
I missed a lot of what you said because I was setting up the Instagram live real quick, but it's no big deal. You got to tell me
the link in the chat.
The link to what? Oh, okay. So you got to tell me about Oubre though, because I remember you saying like when we got him, that was like your least favorite player in the NBA. And guess what? Guess who Dean's favorite player is? And now he wants an Oubre jersey. Well, I gave it away, but you get my point.
It's cool because he's a gunner. I mean, he's like a Nick Young type. You remember Nick Young?
That's not a good.
It's not a great comparison.
No, it's not a great comparison.
He's Oubre for his entire career has been a gunner on bad teams. He even went to the Warriors and was a gunner on them and made them bad. And even the first few games, I remember I was looking at the box score in maybe the second or third game, and there was a point where Embiid had like 13 shots, Maxey had 12 shots, and Oubre had 15 shots. Like he was coming off the bench at that point. Like there's no excuse for you to have more shots than everyone else. And he's just one of those guys. When he's hot and he's on, it's cool. I mean, I remember I seen him before hit like 7 threes in the fourth quarter of a game. But he's one of those streaky shooters that I don't like watching. He's not.
So
he's
you
not
think Kelly Oubre is not an upgrade to the roster that we had?
And plus, not to get on. No, I mean I don't think so. He's not a bad player, but he's not going to win you games throughout a season. He's going to lose you more games because he just chucks the ball up. He's always.
I thought Oubre was actually a decent signing. I mean, you go into the season knowing that James Harden's probably not going to be here, right?
Well, here's the funniest part about the Oubre signing. Did you hear like the TMZ?
Yeah, I heard all that
bullshit.
bullshit. I don't believe any of that.
Did you? I doubt you did.
I missed that.
Well,
go ahead.
Kelly Oubre stole James Harden's. He was dating a girl for a long time. He stole his girl and ended up marrying her. They got a kid together, but they're like bitter enemies, Oubre and Harden, because of this. Like Harden brought her to a party, and at the end of the party, Oubre left with his girl.
Snatched his lady.
Was Daryl Morey just trolling?
So I
Harden
think
by
that was his last signing.
That was the report
after the Daryl Morey is a liar shit. So, I mean, listen, a general manager for an NBA team shouldn't be a troll, but if there is one, it's
That's the
fucking
ultimate
Daryl
troll.
Morey, and
Yeah.
he's a fucking troll. So
Okay, so how would you advise me on how to handle my son now seeing this
Listen,
new
if
flashy player?
if your son
Oubre?
wants an Oubre jersey, buy him a friggin' Oubre.
How long
It's
did-
not,
wait,
it's not
tell
up
him
to
he's gonna
me.
be
Does your
gone.
son, wait, does your
I'm
son have
just
a
saying-
maxi jersey?
No, so
That's
just
as
hold on.
criminal.
Just hold on. Everyone, just give me a break, okay? Give me a break.
it's fine.
Here's
Does your
the
son
deal.
have
My
a
my
Seth
son had a
Curry
Lou
jersey?
Williams
I'm
jersey,
trying to
and
explain.
I love Lou Williams. Like,
Lou Williams
but it's
jersey.
very-
Lou's different.
Lou Williams jersey has never gone outside. But let me
Kelly Oubre
explain.
isn't
Let me
Lou
explain.
Williams.
Obviously, there
No.
was a series of different
I
Ben
didn't mean it
Simmons
like that.
jerseys that were purchased. Oh, what are you going to do? I mean, at the time, it looked like a good idea. He does have an Embiid, but when the Spectrum edition, what's it called, City Edition Spectrum jerseys came out, got him the Seth Curry. Now, Rock was
I
hating
got
on
the
me.
same one for my son.
Okay,
Still got it
Rock was
hanging
hating
up.
on me, but you can attest to this because I know how much you hate. Your mom's calling about that. If you want to get that, I don't know. Like,
Shout out, Mom
you do
Dukes.
know about
Answer.
phonetics.
See
Shout
what
out,
I-
Mama
your
Meech.
business.
You know about phonetics. Hold on, go ahead, Meech.
Mom.
Get right in there.
I'm doing my podcast right now. All right.
Ask her if she wants
Yeah,
to come
she's
on.
All right.
What up, Mom?
He said, "Mom, I'm doing my podcast
No,
right now."
I didn't even have to say. She goes, "Are you doing your podcast right now?"
That's
I
great.
think she knew I was.
Okay, so but I got him a Seth Curry, which I actually liked at the time because like he's a little shooter, you know. But it was mainly because that was the only thing that was available.
Yeah.
the youth sizes were like
On Dick's, did you get it? That's
Yeah.
where I got
And this
it.
was for your
It was the
kid,
only-
right?
it
For my
was the
kid.
only
And the
youth
jersey.
That's when you got to hit the shenanigans off and be like, like
Rock is
Listen.
big on shenanigans, folks.
it's,
I will
it's-
never.
It's a kid's jersey. You know, like kids don't give a shit. They're gonna
No.
run around. They're gonna roll around in the dirt. Just go get the Shenanigans jersey for the kid. Get him the Maxi. He would still have. He wouldn't give a shit if it was
Yeah.
a Shenanigans or if
Well,
it was from.
I did get my daughter the
Nike?
Maxi City Edition Brotherly Love one, so that's we're covered on that.
the crispy white.
Yeah,
Or the new one?
the crispy white. Now he's saying the jersey's so fire that he wants to wear it anyway, and I'm kind of conflicted because he's wearing Seth Curry, but now he wants Oubre, and I'm like, I have a history of buying him jerseys of people that don't stick around so long. Mish,
Yeah.
how long is Oubre going to be around, man? Break it down for us.
Probably about a year or so.
What time is it? What he signed a 1-year deal? He's going to be here 1 year.
So here's the deal with the Sixers, right? So I think that the Oubre signing was not bad, right? So you go into the season, you're like, Harden's not going to be here. Wait,
Go ahead.
What's his name?
Tom.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I think
Here,
I
take this,
answered
take this,
for you.
take this,
Oh,
take this.
Go ahead. Dude.
Sorry. You go into the season, you're like, pretty much Harden's not going to be here. You got Maxi, you got Embiid, and you really have no offense other than that. So they're like, who's out there? Who can we grab real quick that can throw a couple buckets in? Kelly Oubre. You know what I mean?
Good looking.
It'll get you through the
tatted
season.
up.
Yeah, he's a good looking dude. He'll bring a couple of chicks down to the stadium, whatever.
What-
He'll,
What's that?
I don't know, whatever.
I like how-
He'll make James Harden absolutely pissed off, but whatever. Next year is the year, right? So I think next year they're gonna dump all these expiring contracts, whatever they got. Who they get? Batum, Marcus Morris,
Yeah, get
KJ
deep into
Martin.
it. Get deep into
KD
it.
Martin, whatever. All these dudes are got expiring contracts. Next year's team is gonna be led by Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, and Pascal Siakam, his brother from the Cameroon. And they're going to go deep with supporting players like Kelly Oubre, maybe Korkmaz, maybe not, whatever. But they're loading up for next year.
Did
Like,
the Sixers pay you to say all this?
no, the Sixers didn't pay me shit. This is how I see the season going. Like, they're going to, you know what it is with the Sixers. There's going to be another second round knockout. That's what it's going to happen this year. Like, it's not their year, but they're clearly tooling up for the future. And the obvious pick to bring here, you got Maxey as the guard. He's the outside guy. You got Embiid is the down low guy. What do you need? You need that slick wing that can like do everything.
You
And
have
it's
too much
Siakam.
faith in the
Siakam
future.
is the free agent at the end of this year.
You
They
know-
may even trade for him before the year's over somehow.
before the
some
end
way.
of the year would be
So
cool.
wait, but are you
But
really?
I'm
but then,
not ready to talk about.
but are you
future.
paying attention then this year? Are you like bought in? Are you just having fun? Or do you
Well, this
not
year
care?
this year I'm like whatever. It's Sixers.
See, all
it's
these guys the
basketball.
Sixers just traded for are you can't trade them right now.
Rocco.
They're eligible to be traded on January 1st.
Yeah, so like teams want. That's what teams want. They want like expiring contracts, whatever. Like dudes who like cost a lot of money and get them the hell out.
Which
of here,
is
'cause then-
so crazy
Yeah.
why the Clippers gave us exactly what we wanted
right.
for a guy
Dude,
we couldn't ever
The
put in a
Sixers
game
are going to have
for us
so much
again.
money to spend in the offseason.
It was a crazy trade to me. I don't understand.
I ain't
why
going to
the
say he's
Clippers
coming
did
here,
it.
but isn't LeBron a free agent at the end of this year?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you could sign him to a 1-year deal and then draft Bronny and
Listen,
There's a lot of activity
That's-
coming up.
That's the move.
Bottom line, but I think the best fit for this team next year is going to be
He'll still be putting up
Siakam, bro. His
28.
brother from the Cameroon. He plays the wing, and B plays down low, and Maxey plays outside.
Tom, how do you
that's
feel about the
championship-
Sixers right
championship
now?
recipe.
Are you excited?
I had been saying that they weren't going to get any of my emotional attention until
Juice.
2024. But then, Harden's gone. They get this haul. And now I'm like, okay, there's definitely a different energy.
They're about to be 3-1.
Maxey hasn't been out of his mind. But I don't want to wait till next year. If
Speaking
there's
of which, yeah.
there is a move to be made. You're putting too much faith in JoJo and his knees. And I don't have any faith in JoJo being here
Skechers.
long term.
Yo, speaking of Skechers, I was looking today for new b-ball shoes because my OG old man league is about to
Please tell me
start
you
up
got
next week.
Skechers.
Nah, we won the championship last year, so shout out to my squad there.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
You did not get Skechers.
the Skechers look pretty good, man. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm sure they're comfortable.
They look
Sure
pretty
they're comfortable.
good.
Also,
I'm thinking about
guys, I just want
copying.
you to know we're basically doing one of those live shows where you watch the game. Aleko, can you show people
So that's
when
when
we
you
talk
ask the
about the
question
coop,
and then
folks?
don't wait for the
This is
answer.
what we're talking about.
We got is that the home network? What's it
Show
called?
'em,
Home
Aleko.
shopping
I
network
haven't
over
heard a
there?
Look
word
at this.
anyone said for the past
Hold on.
10 minutes of
Yeah.
watching the game.
Misha's been watching the Sixers game.
Misha's got
Look at
I
this.
forgot we were doing a
$300.
podcast.
$300 on Maxey getting
Aleko,
6
go back
assists.
to that. Go back to that. Look, this looks like a sports book right here, folks. This is
But
what
you
we're talking about, the
can't
coop.
tell
And I
them
want to
why.
invite anybody who's listening or watching to come down and check out the coop because we have a good time down here and we'd love to have you. So reach out to us, DM us, whatever. But
Yeah, this is
that
the-
excludes one person, PJ DeMuzio. PJ, is that hey? Am I pronouncing his name right, Aleko? Don't that dude is never allowed to come in here again. Aleko, you hear me? Someone else has to shoot because this dude, straight up, he's doubling down on his troll bullshit. He hits me up during the Phillies playoffs
Oh, yeah.
saying, I can't
What is
wait
this
for my
about?
Diamondbacks to win.
Whoa.
Yo,
His
Pause.
Diamondbacks.
Wait, is he from Arizona?
Is he from Arizona? Aleko?
Nobody's
He is.
from
Oh,
Arizona.
Where's he from?
Hold up. This
Arizona's
is the dude.
all
Yo,
transplants.
this is the dude.
Wait.
Hold on. This is the dude who I have a long-standing business relationship with. I have invested a lot of money with his company, and he is trolling me. Now he's trolling me on my own podcast. He did it via text message, and I am thinking about an outright ban on him that he can no longer walk through this door. He will have to send someone else, and I don't care if he's the last resort. We'll cancel the show. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, this is the gentleman who runs a company called Creative Outfit.
Wait a minute. I see PJ still popping up in the chat.
Look,
If you're from Philadelphia, PJ, why the
Thank
fuck are you a
you, Rob.
Diamondbacks fan?
because you were a
Put
loser
that in the chat.
troll.
He's not a
Wait, does
diamond.
he have a family member? Like
No,
immediate
he's
family
trolling
member
me.
that played for the
He is
Diamondbacks?
trolling me.
There's no way.
I knew that
anyone's an
Dan
actual
Purple hair was bad
Diamondbacks
luck.
fan.
Yeah, you guys lost. Somebody was crying.
Like who seeks out
PJ,
the Diamondbacks?
you're like why are you a Diamondbacks fan? Put
Hold
it in
on.
the chat.
PJ,
Answer yourself.
They
let me
wanted-
guess. You're probably a Dallas fan too, you cockroach. Don't come in here anymore.
He's
You're
somebody
banned.
corny
And you know
about
what? After this show, I saw the Creative Outfit
like the
van on the
Seahawks.
street.
He
I
probably
might
like
go
a
out
Seahawks
there
fan.
and freaking slash that tire. Dude. It's bullshit. Stay out of the chat, PJ. That's enough. And Aleko, I think, is that your girlfriend in there that's
Does he
complimenting
like
you?
the Eagles?
I mean, this chat is overrun by Creative Outfit people that are talking to each other and trolling
Yeah,
me.
I don't think that-
understand what's going on here.
Aleko's
I
girl
love
comes in
you,
the chat
City
every week,
podcast
right?
Camera guy.
If you're watching,
Yeah, every
Wait,
week
hold
she
on.
does this. Wait, hold
I
on.
know.
Every week she does this. Aleko, step in front of the camera real quick. Dude.
Yeah,
Everyone wants
let's
to
see
see
him.
it.
Come on,
Everyone wants
dude.
to see
Come on,
Serpico.
dude. Look at this guy.
Man.
Here
Here's
he
our
is.
man right here with the plan. There he is,
Yo.
Aleko.
Yeah.
There he is.
Pretty physically fit. When I saw Aleko in short shorts, my life changed
Whoa,
forever.
pause.
This summer?
What about the Migos? How about the Migos?
No, seriously. Creative Outfit people, you need to check yourself, dude. You're out of control. You are out of control.
Yo, Creative Outfit is the shit. Yeah, we love working with y'all people, man.
Yeah, no, you good guys for the most
You
part.
guys know it's Dallas week.
Yeah, what's up with the Eagles?
Okay, so that brings me to something that I've been thinking about. And
Yeah, Dallas and the
Yeah,
Eagles.
Well, you know, the funny thing is, normally during Dallas week, I would be like, I wouldn't even be able to control myself. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is. And maybe it's me. I'm not happy to admit this, but I don't feel the energy that I would normally feel during a Dallas week. And I don't know why that is. Maybe I was so distracted by the Phillies. maybe it's because the Eagles have just been winning no matter how shitty they play
it's
sometimes.
because Dallas has been insignificant for so long. But this game this week is actually a huge game. I mean, we're basically one game
That's what I'm saying.
apart in a loss column.
Yeah.
So this game is like, I remember when the Niners were playing the Cowboys, everyone's like, "Oh, who do you want?" What's going on here?
Rock is Rock.
What's
I
up?
think there's like 2 people watching, so I wouldn't get too crazy.
So when the Cowboys played the Niners, I was like, who do you want to win? And most people were saying they wanted the Cowboys to win because they figured the Niners were the biggest threat for
Right.
home field advantage. But now you look at it, and
Mhm.
I wish the Cowboys
Listen,
would have fucking
I'm
lost
not debating.
because here's what happens. It's not just a drop a spot. You lose to the Cowboys, then you lose the division. So you go from number 1 seed home field advantage to number 5 seed. That's a huge
Also,
drop off.
the next, I don't want to start this next 6-game stretch off with an L at home.
I feel really
Dallas.
uncomfortable with this.
Yeah.
That was
I'll
just in
take
my
that.
face for the
I'll
past
take that.
10 minutes. So deal with
Pointing at me.
it.
Please.
Yo,
Instagram.
So you're saying you're scared of this game?
No, I'm not scared of this game. I just wish the Cowboys would have lost earlier. I think we're going to beat them, but
There's something about the Cowboys and the Eagles,
especially,
right?
I mean,
There's something about Dax, just folding when he comes here or when we play them. I'm not worried about this game in the slightest
no.
bit. I feel like
I didn't mean it like that. I just meant it like,
yeah, I know what you're saying.
in the circumstances they're in now.
You think that the biggest threat to the Eagles having home field or whatever is the Cowboys at this point? When it was
not just having home
49ers.
field, but you drop from 1 to 5.
Yeah.
To where if the Niners are our
Gotta
biggest
go
threat,
on
you
the
drop
road.
from 1 to 2.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I hear you, but it's clear to me that the Eagles are just the best team in the NFL. And
Right.
I'm not going to
And-
say by far, but I'm going to say they are clearly the best.
And when they
team in
win
the
this
league.
week, it'll solidify it.
Yeah,
and
they're
it'll put
like-
a nice cushion.
Okay.
But right now, you have to think about the possibility.
But here's my question, you guys. Do you feel like the energy level for this type of scenario? Because here's what I know. If you went back to the pre-Super Bowl victory era, right? If the Eagles were 7-1?
7-1.
7-1 heading into a game against the Cowboys at home, I mean, we
It
would be
a lot more vitriol.
Well, I'm
Is
just
that the
saying we would
correct
be
word?
so jacked up.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. We're just like used to it at this point. You're saying
I just don't feel the same edge. I'm sad.
I
to
agree.
say
it's like
No,
we're
that,
the big
I
brother.
agree.
You're the little
but
brother.
I don't
You're
know
going
if
to get
it's just a
stomped out.
factor of my own lameness.
No, I think what it is that you know that the Eagles, deep down inside, you know that the Eagles are the best team in the league. There's no, I'm not gonna say there's no chance, but you just know that the Cowboys are gonna come in here and the Eagles are just gonna handle business. Like you know that like
I don't know that it's that, man.
I think it is that. I think you're used to them just beating them up, and it's like you just know what's gonna
Dallas is
happen.
good.
Sadly,
Bottom line.
I think it's more a factor of like my own issues where I'm like my head is just kind of spinning with life in general. I don't have the time
You
to
gotta talk
really
that out.
emotionally invest.
bro. You gotta talk that out with your person.
Your brain only has
Telling
so
you.
much capacity.
I know.
What else you got going on in life, Jess? Let's get into the.
Yeah.
Just the standard stuff for the kids and the work and the trying to
I
take care of
I
my
have
dad.
2 full-time jobs, doing a podcast, and 5 kids.
I'm not trying to say I have I'm just feel like I'm moving 100 miles an hour and I don't even have the time to sit, stop and think about it.
I think it's that
Yeah, it's on me.
deep down, like the Eagles are like, even if
Speaking of moving
Saying-
about 100 miles an hour, real quick. I hate to break this up, but I'm watching Maxie on this fucking screen.
he's nasty,
And I meant to bring this up to somebody, but
all-star.
have you ever seen somebody, an NBA player? I'm pretty good at watching an NBA player and being able to be like, oh, he plays like this guy. Because I watched a lot of NBA players in my life. I've never seen a guy attack the basket at the just as crazy out of control. But then when he's got to take a shot, he squares up, he
Mhm.
bounces it like his shoulders are square.
He's in that.
And he shoots a nice shot and it's perfect every time. I've never seen a guy look
Dude,
so out
that
of
is the-
control
yeah.
and then end up being so in control at the end for such an easy shot. It's so impressive.
That is the
to watch.
best thing about Harden leaving is just going to be the development of this dude right here. Like he's going to be an all-star this year, and
And it's not
I
like I give a shit about offensive player of the week thing, but I think him getting offensive player of the week in the first week will boost his. He's like,
Yeah,
yo,
this-
I'm the
dude,
best
this
fucking
dude
player in the Eastern Conference. Maybe
Yeah,
he was
blocked by
he was
Embiid.
not being held back by coaches or
He gave
anything
it
last
the-
year. He's
the
being held back
Macumbo
by
flag.
James Harden. This dude is going to take
How
always
good
talk
can he
about
be?
taking the next step and all that.
How good can he be?
Maxi's going to take that next step. He's going to be an all-star this year. And by the time it comes around next year, when we have Siakam on the squad and we have Embiid on the squad, we're going to have 3 all-stars on the team.
Rockets just locked into this
I'm just telling you,
Siakam
dude.
narrative. You know what I mean?
That's what's going to happen. Maxey is he's a sick athlete. He plays the game like you want the point guard to play. He can be aggressive. I'm not going to say he reminds me of Dame, but he's in that kind of same like.
Again, I'm
he
sorry
moves.
for
I feel like
disrupting
he
the show.
moves a lot.
Don't
we were in
disrupt the
Eagles-
show. This
we
is
were
a-
in Eagles
yeah,
mode,
yeah.
but-
Meech, as you know,
He's in
we
the
have a
same
very
frame of-
detailed
I
schedule.
know, I know. We have an outline we got to follow.
Speaking of disrupting the show, I looked up and I saw the Steelers Titans game.
Talk about some dog shit.
And let me say this: a couple of the fantasy leagues I'm in too many fantasy leagues, and that's part of the problem. I have no idea what's going on in these fantasy leagues. They're 2 quarterback leagues. Okay,
right.
I think the 2 quarterback leagues should be. Are you guys in? Tom,
No.
do you do fantasy football?
I don't pay. I have
You don't
one-
mess around. I
don't
appreciate that.
really-
What do you do?
I'm in 2 leagues. Neither are one's kind of serious. One is a pretty cool one. It's a team gets eliminated each week.
Whoa, that's
I
pretty
like
dope.
that.
And
I
then
like that.
every
That's
player
way to
gets,
go.
gets
Should be in some
thrown
cool
into
shit.
the
I didn't-
waiver wire.
I'd like to get eliminated.
Did you do Joe
Then you
Murray's
said each
suicide
player gets
pool?
thrown to the
Yeah.
waiver.
I'm
To the
still in
pool?
it.
Are you still in?
Still in it.
Meech, wait, their players when they get eliminated get on the waiver.
And then you
That's
have
amazing.
a certain amount of money, and you bid on them each week.
I was just gonna say
That's
my
pretty sick.
team in a couple leagues should just be eliminated right now. That would be ideal. I asked if there's a cash out option, but anyway, so
That's
2
a lie because
I-
me and you were playing for first place this week.
Oh,
or
and you
something.
beat me with stupid.
Is that this
Gibbs.
week?
Yeah, you beat me.
Or is that
Okay,
next
Who
week?
cares?
no,
Oh,
but
no.
listen up. 2 quarterback leagues should be illegal.
No.
I'll tell you why. It's impossible to field, because you have to have 2 quarterbacks and then a backup quarterback. Do the math. Like, there's not that many good quarterbacks. They're all injured. I was trying to look for a trade because my quarterback's so bad. I went through every roster in the league. They all had no quarterbacks. It was garbage. Anyway, I
bad
picked
drafting.
up Will Levis, like winging a prayer.
Yo,
like,
I didn't even know who
Yo,
Will
he had a
Levis
great
was until
game.
today.
and I just realized when I picked him up, he went right into my lineup. You know what I mean? Like I didn't, and he's playing, and I didn't even actually make a conscious decision that I was going to play him. So I'm like, Will Levis, how we doing out there, buddy?
I never even heard of
Not too good.
Will Levis until a few hours ago. And my buddy shouted my homie Blake at work again. He was like, "Who should I
Blake.
play, Will Levis or Kenny Pickett?" I was like, "Who the fuck is Will Levitt?" Levis, Levi's, whatever.
You'll love it.
Well, it's
Levis.
crazy
Whatever the
'cause
dude's name
they
is.
drafted Malik
He's like, he
Willis,
threw 4
right?
touchdowns
No,
last
his
year. I'm
name's-
like, what?
His name's spelled like the jeans, but it's pronounced Levis.
That
Like
is
I don't
confusing.
like that.
You don't
Are we?
like that?
Are,
He's
wait,
just
are
off
we
him on
pronouncing the
that.
jeans the wrong way?
No, it's
Okay.
Levi.
All right.
He should be Will
Guys,
Levi.
Now
And he
PJ's
should wear jeans during the
PJ's
game.
in the chat, and he wrote "doggy doo doo." I mean,
Did you put the link in the chat?
What is he doing?
PJ, why don't you tap in and talk some
yeah,
shit?
just put it in. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, put it in and talk some
Put it
shit.
in.
You gotta
If
stop
anybody wants to
looking at
tap
the
in,
chat, I think.
No, the
Talk
chat,
some shit.
chat's great. Join
Yeah.
the chat, and
There's the chat
Can you
link.
fight PJ in the chat, please?
Oh,
We might have to.
guys, we just put.
So, are you going to the Dallas game?
I'm going to attend.
Yeah.
That's my plan.
I'm going. It's my lovely mom who called me during. It's her birthday on Monday, so Sunday we're having a nice birthday dinner.
I thought you were going to say you were taking her to the game.
she would not want to go.
Yeah, but
to
you
the-
took her to the Chris Rock concert.
I did.
I
Take her
remember
to the
that.
Chris Rock concert.
Yo,
Or
hold on,
or
real quick.
concert,
For everybody
show.
watching that's on the live, we put the link for the what do you call that? The StreamYard.
Yeah.
You can tap that link and you can get in and
Send it to Pat.
be on camera and
Send
say
it
I'm
to
something.
about to buy tickets.
So we're looking for Wu Lee. We're looking for
You ever
Nita.
hear of Nate Bargatze?
Tap in.
Sounds familiar.
He's a comedian. He hosted Saturday Night Live last week.
Okay.
And I just watched his special on, I think it's on Amazon Prime. So funny, man. And he's like really clean. So I think I'm
Clean for mom.
I'm going to take mom to that one too.
Mom doesn't like the raunchy stuff.
Like
No,
Chris
she-
Rock's talking about
I
the
mean,
nobody's home jerk.
I don't like watching
the best.
a raunchy comedian next to my mom. It's not so
Right.
much that
Yeah,
she
it's just
doesn't-
that weird
it's-
dynamic. You're
Yeah.
like,
I hear
Nobody
you.
wants that.
I didn't see
Nobody
any
wants that.
boobs.
But Nate Bargatze, he's a really funny dude.
Yeah, we're gonna-
I watched the Saturday Night Live monologue from last week. It was hilarious. And then me and my wife watched the his special on Amazon Prime this week. I was cracking up.
What's his
Really
name
good.
again?
Nate Bargatze.
All right.
Speaking of comedy,
Tennessee
right?
dude.
So we had what's her name? Betty
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 Smithsonian.
Betty
Yeah.
Smithsonian. Yes. I heard there's gonna be some comedy shows in the coop. Is that?
Betty actually has a show tonight. That's why she's.
Oh, Betty is.
Yeah, my homie
Shout out, Betty.
texted me. He
Right
was
now.
like, "Yeah, I think he's like, was Betty Smithsonian the girl on your podcast?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm going to her show." I was like, "Oh, word,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what's up."
No, Betty's the best. In fact,
But-
she came on the show, and then ever since then, we've had this experience before with guests. Ever since the show, I've become her like sports buddy. She's like hitting me up all the time.
She was hilarious.
She's hitting me up on Instagram like,
She's
I
the
can't
best.
believe
She's the
this.
best.
Yeah, no, she's great.
the best.
There was going to be a show here, but it
There
got
is.
rescheduled due to the Phillies.
yeah,
but we're
yeah.
going to reschedule it, so we will have some comedy shows here at the Coop.
Coop,
And,
Coop comedy.
yeah, we'll
I'm
put,
going to open up.
put that out.
Keep
be
a
the-
lookout for Coop comedy.
Yo,
in the
Meech,
future.
Meech, can you please?
Meech is performing.
Definitely put a
He's just
little,
performing his.
Can I tell you
I can put a little 10-minute.
Listen, I want
Why
you
don't we
guys
just do
feedback.
that?
I want your feedback real quick because I actually put together like every once in a while I'd have ideas, and I had a rough stand-up routine together, and it was called Marital Sex, which is a play obviously on premarital sex. Because to me, like the husband who's going through life constantly thinking about, because like every guy for the most part, this is just gonna sound
Sounds great.
stupid.
Work on it.
Yeah.
Bring it up to the stage.
Slippery slope,
Go
Jesse.
here, right?
You should
Just keep going. I got to hear this.
It's actually funny though.
I hope
Like,
your wife's
no,
not
no, no.
watching this.
It's funny. The husband who goes through the day-to-day life thinking about when the next interaction is going to occur, and all that goes into that is actually a hilarious study on the mind.
Yeah,
of
you should
the,
work on that,
average
and
guy.
then
I
we'll
got good
have
stuff, dude.
we'll have open night here at the Coop
I got good stuff.
featuring Betty
And me and Meech.
Smithsonian.
Meech,
Betty
so you can
It'll
Smithsonian.
be like the Smothers Brothers.
Featuring Betty Smithsonian.
I'll
Jess is going to
open.
be the opening act. He's going to work on his married man's sex life bit.
We can
Yeah.
have the best
Marital
gonna come
sex,
see it.
baby.
preview
Let's
of
go.
that right there.
Anyway,
What else
All
is popping in
wait,
the world?
No, I had something I did want to get into with you guys because the one thing, okay, Phillies losing sucks so bad.
Oh, look
my
who
God.
it is. Look who it is in the fucking. Look who it is.
Sucks
Hold on,
so
hold on,
bad.
hold
No,
on.
not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet.
Oh, not yet.
No, the Phillies
Paul.
losing sucked so bad. But the one thing that came out of the whole thing, I think, it further seemed to reinforce the fact that, yes, the team lost. But you know what? We, as a fan base, we won. And we have been winning constantly in terms of
True.
our reputation and who we are, and everyone's seeing who we are. They used to just shit on us because we were Negadelphia and we were rude and crude. But it's my theory that people across the country wish they could experience something that is as real as being from Philadelphia and being a sports fan. And what I wanted to ask you guys was, do you think that's been the case, or do you think they still hate us? In some cases, hate us even more because of the attention
I
that
don't
we've
think
got.
I don't think people hate us necessarily. Like I think it's just like it's a phenomenon. It's like there's like some I don't even know what the word is, but I'm looking for. But it's like people like so I work a lot with people who live in Arizona right now, right?
Mhm.
So of course the natural progression of working with people in Arizona the past few weeks, we're talking about baseball, right? So talking with them, they're like, "Oh man, I would love to go to a game out there and see what it's like." It's not like a hatred or
Right.
like it's
That's
like
what I'm saying.
it's like a
They want to experience.
yeah. They want to be. I don't think they hate us. They just want to see what it's really like
Right.
out here. You know what I mean? And I told these people, I'm like, look, it's not what you see on TV. It's not what you hear. We're not bad people. We're just a passionate group of fans. When we're watching the game, we get into it. You may hear, a FU or whatever if you're coming to our place wearing the opposing team's jersey or whatever. But
Sounds
you're going to
soft.
be safe. You know what I mean? Bottom line,
I've actually been proud of fans. There's been a lot
Yeah,
of
it's
videos
like-
where people were like challenged us and we didn't knock them out.
Yeah,
Like,
I
it's
think-
pretty sweet.
I think like I do agree with you saying that the spotlight was put on the fans in those past few weeks because it was like a thing. It was like, look how great these Philadelphia fans are. Look what they do to their team. And then those goddamn Phillies just
But
really
I'm trolling PJ
they
right now.
really
We're gonna
just-
make him wait.
they
Just
really
gonna
let
make him
us
sit
down,
there.
man.
I'm not letting him in. But I have an interesting
is
idea.
PJ in a dungeon somewhere? Where
I
the
don't
hell
know. Who
is
cares?
he?
Who
Dude?
cares? Listen.
Is he in a haunted house?
Wait, I had an idea, guys. I had a business idea, and if I get a business idea, chances are it's brilliant. But hear me out. So those
Don't
commercials.
put this on the air, but we might need to talk about this on the side, bro.
I think it's fun.
All right.
So those commercials
No
where the
safe.
guy is, the Geico. I think it's Geico or maybe Progressive, where he's helping people to avoid becoming their parents.
Oh, I love
He's
those
counseling
commercials.
them.
Those are
you know what I
great,
mean?
by the way. Whoever came up with that is
Isn't that great marketing to where you don't even know which?
Jess, didn't you used to work
insurance
for a
company it is?
company like
It's
that?
neither of those.
No,
by
that
the
came up
way.
with marketing.
Oh, years and years ago.
Yeah.
I did some copywriting and stuff.
All right.
But my thought was this: it would be funny, first of all, to do a sketch, and this is what we do if we had more time on our hands, to do a sketch where you were doing that and you were showing people how to be like real Philly fans, you know, and like you'd be with them at the game and they'd be like, "Hey, buddy, good luck today," and we'd be like, "No, you got to be like, fuck you," you know what I mean? Like a whole skit around that. But then I was thinking, like, people like you're talking about, Rock, we could put together the Philadelphia authentic fan experience, and it would be like a travel package. And they come in, we pick them up at the airport in like a Haggard minivan. We take them to like,
pick them up and things.
yeah, we take them to like rugged ass spots to
Take
eat
'em to
food.
Kensington.
Bobby Wing jersey.
Drop
We
them through
take them to like
Kensington.
the
Yeah.
upper level of the games. We harass other fans. They get involved. We throw a tailgate. Like, I think people would really pay for that.
Punch him in the face.
Like in the world where experiential, you know, marketing and experience.
I don't think
is
that'll
everything.
work because people they like the they like to hear the stories, but they don't want to actually be in that environment where they're getting hoagies thrown at them by a podcast host at
To
a
be clear,
tailgate.
no. You see, you've got the facts wrong. I was attempting to throw hoagies to them. The people that were in line,
You
I was trying to
yeah.
deliver a hoagie.
You threw a
via the
hoagie
air.
at the guy wearing the Jalen Ramsey Miami Dolphins jersey.
He
No,
just
it
happened
was-
to be in the way. He
yeah,
just
it was-
happened to be where
Yeah.
he was.
Bottom line is, I don't think people want to be harassed,
All right.
harassed, whatever,
You know,
whatever,
let's just
whatever.
get-
They don't want to.
Okay.
They want to just
Let's just get this over with.
All right.
Listen, let's let this fucking troll in.
This was a concept.
let him in.
No.
Let him in.
Let this troll in.
Yo,
Look
am I
at you.
in?
Why did you let him in before Wooly? We don't have to need.
Am I
Is
in?
Wooly in there?
You
Wooly's
just
not
wanted
there.
to ban him, and now
Wooly's
you're
not
just going to
there.
bring him in.
Wooly's not there.
God,
Okay,
I've been
PJ.
waiting so
First of all,
long.
you're supposed
Dude,
to be.
what are you
hold on,
in your
stop.
basement?
You're
or something?
supposed to be a video expert, and we can't even see you. It's completely black. I mean, this is just
hold
par
on,
for
I'm
the
He's
course. of
driving.
the-
He's going to drop
I
some
was just
drugs
at
off.
Wawa. I had to pull over in order to get this set up so I could be on the show. Thank you for having me on the
Hey,
show.
I'm surprised you even went to Wawa, you fraud, rooting
I
for
know,
the
I'm- okay,
Diamondbacks.
listen. I wanted to
Probably
formally
a cheat.
apologize. I wanted to, I had the Diamondbacks are my favorite snakes, and seeing that
You're
they
a
had a baseball team, like, there's different types of snakes, cobras, anacondas. Then there's the Diamondback. I like that type of team.
He doesn't care about.
Can you
sports.
disconnect from this
He
call?
doesn't
You're
care
such a
about
snake.
sports.
Get him
My
out of here.
favorite
Kick him
kind
out.
of
Kick him out.
snake.
Yeah,
You're
dude,
gone.
and then-
I don't even
I'll
think
let go.
is
Cut him.
Diamondback even a specific. I
Cut
think it's
him.
just a generic snake term.
Folks,
It's such a weird explanation
I'm
of
sorry
why
for
you're
that.
supposed to like a team.
I'm just so sorry for that.
Never again.
You hate it too. Fuck that guy. Well, I think that truthfully, and maybe this is me psyching, pumping ourselves up, but I really do feel like the narrative has changed on Philly fans. I think people really want to be a part of, in today's world where there's so much fraudulence left and right, so much fake stuff. This is the real thing.
Well,
People
we were
can
so
see it.
celebrated during that run that it just really
Right.
and it showed all the best stuff, and you heard the players talking about it.
And then
And
to
you
have
heard-
it end in 2 home losses, it just makes it
It's
devastating.
bad.
We showed up. We were there. We did our part. That place was rocking.
Well, that's why I
That
was so
place-
devastated.
I
because
did buy a ticket the morning of. I said it's the first Game 7 in Philly's history. I have to be down there to support the boys. And the whole game, I swear to God, I was waiting for something great to happen. Like I knew something was going to, and it just never happened.
It's funny because I had the same thought. So I'm at Game 6 as it's going on. I'm like, oh my God, the prospect of us playing for our lives tomorrow frightens me beyond. And as it became clear that was what's going to happen, I didn't have any tickets to the game, and I was like, okay. And by the way, I'd come off, we did the Miami tailgate, and then we did Monday night at the game. It was outrageous. I was like, I'll just sit this one out. But that day, everybody was going. I was hearing about it. And I was having FOMO. But I knew I've been at enough sporting events where we lose, in tragic fashion to know.
Yep.
The part of me that wanted to be there if we won was dwarfed by the part of me that didn't want to be there if we lost. And unfortunately, it played out that way. Sad.
I'm
many
looking at
bad
the
L's
Sixers
have you been
game,
to?
by the
I've been
way,
to so many bad L's.
and
I wasn't at the.
I
Hawks,
just saw
but I was
Patrick
at-
Beverly on the TV. Can we talk about
Worst loss.
Patrick Beverly?
Can I talk about the
Hold on.
worst loss I was ever at, Phillies wise?
Yeah, sure.
Was the
Let's get into it.
was the Cardinals game. Chris Carpenter Roy Halladay gave up a first inning run, and then the rest of the game was just a pitcher's duel. It was Carpenter versus Halladay. Nobody gave up a run, and it ended with Ryan Howard tearing his Achilles on a. I mean, it was the worst game I've ever.
Yeah, that was like the saddest Phillies moment out. Like, I'm not a big baseball fan, obviously, and I remember that. That was like the saddest.
You know, it was sad.
shit.
Rock remembers a Phillies game.
I was like, damn, he tore his Achilles in like
Honestly,
the last game, the last play of the fucking game.
I was at
that
was so sad.
The 04
That was
loss Super Bowl, which was rugged. But I got to be honest, those NFC Championship home games before that, I mean, there was nothing as bad as that. I mean,
They
nothing
were
as bad.
brutal.
I don't think
I didn't go. To
I was
either
at 3 of
those,
them.
but-
The Joe
I was at
Jaravicis
all
game you're
those.
talking about?
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever.
I
feel-
cried that day.
That
And by the way, every
As a
time it
grown
got
man.
worse. And then the Super Bowl sucks to lose,
Carolina was,
but at least you were there, right?
Right.
And by the
Right.
way, that's kind of how I feel about the Phillies. Like last year, we were there, and it sucked the way we lost, but we were there. This year, I just wanted to see the World Series again. I wanted them in the World Series.
I wanted to
you
win.
know?
Right. And that's what I'm saying. So back when I said
damn
too
it.
much carrying on, too much fucking carrying on, too much of the Joe Boo,
But I'll be
Major
honest with you,
League.
they would have
You
probably
gotta
got their
fucking
ass kicked
go
by
and
that
act
Texas
like you've
Rangers
been there
team.
before. You gotta be like, you know what? We were here last year. We know what we need to do. That's what I'm saying. We gotta win it this year. Let's not get all hype and have what's the catcher's name with the fucking overalls with the beers
Garrett
hanging?
Stubbs.
Garrett Stubbs.
He had nothing to do
Whatever.
with it.
He's a cornball, by the way. If you ask
No,
me,
he's not.
He's a fucking cornball.
Coming at Garrett
great.
Stubbs.
He's great.
He's a
Listen,
cornball.
man.
He's like a cheerleader. He's like a cheerleader for
He
the
read
team.
a tweet that people said he should jump in the pool, and he just said it on the.
Listen,
But just watching the games and watching his
anyone
reaction,
that looks at Meech's tweet
Dude.
and talks about it on TV is cool with me. All
I-
right,
I-
Garrett
I mean,
Stubbs.
listen, I'm
He's a
sorry.
dude who knew he
There you
wouldn't
go.
have to play in the playoffs at
He
all.
wouldn't have
He-
to answer for it.
All right, we're not gonna get on Garrett Stubbs because I did like his party in action, but whatever. I just think the Phillies needed to have a little bit more drive to win the championship. Other than it seemed like it was like a party. It wasn't like we need to go win. It was like a party. the
No,
whole
man,
time.
they knew what they had to do. They had a bunch of dudes.
They-
who-
they
who
clearly
won
didn't,
before.
dude.
They added Turner.
Why did
They had the squad. They just couldn't hit. That's what it comes down to. Please let's stop talking about the fucking Phillies. I'm about
All
to
right.
fucking.
I didn't even want to talk about it like this. You guys are savage.
Eagles got it. Eagles got
How
it.
did they get brought back up?
Yeah,
Did I do this? Did I bring them fucking back up?
No, that was me. My bad. Sorry.
Fuck Dallas.
All right.
Fuck Texas.
Here's the thing that made it
Fuck Houston.
makes it feel
The whole
extra
fucking
shitty.
state.
Last week was like 80 degrees, and now it's like 30 degrees.
You golfing?
Nah, I'm not golfing. Can't do it.
Oh,
All my buddies are golfing tomorrow. Fucking pissed about it.
Join us.
I can't.
Join us.
my God.
You know what though?
And one
I
Cork Miles.
realize
Fucking balling.
why everyone
Corky.
hates this season.
And Kelly Oubre hit a fucking triple. Big triple, by the way, Meech.
You need the chapstick and the freaking like hand look. Everything gets all dry. I mean, the winter fucking
Keep
blows.
the Carmax in your pocket at all time.
And you know what I was thinking about? I wanted to ask you guys about. Do you drink coffee
Yeah.
For real?
Day.
Every
Yeah,
day?
Every day.
like when you get up?
When I get up.
All right, I
yeah.
want to hear like what your routine is. You get up, you make coffee at your house?
Yes.
Okay.
Before I go to work?
Yeah,
Yeah. I
in
make
a pot.
Nah, we got the Keurig type Jones.
Okay, so you make a Keurig cup,
Yeah, it's a big John. It's like
like a big John.
I put it in a 20-ounce tumbler. It's
Oh,
a,
shit.
it's a re-
So
it's
how
a
many Keurigs
Arctic.
are going in there?
Oh, just one.
Just one. It'll
Yep.
make that much?
I guess so. I don't know. It's fucking. You
Sounds
put it
weird.
in
He
there
said
and they
20
fucking hit
ounces,
the.
whatever.
No, you pour the.
Yeah.
You know how it works. You
There's
pour
no
the water.
There's no Keurig on earth that makes 20 ounces of
I was
coffee.
gonna
I ain't
say.
gonna say it ain't that strong, but it does what I need to
Doesn't
do.
matter. Okay, so you
What's your
start with that.
Yeah.
Then you go.
But I'm saying 20 ounces isn't even a setting on any Keurig machine.
No, it's not. 10 is the
Yeah.
most. Okay.
We don't even have a cure. We have like some
Off market.
off market like Best Buy brand
Okay.
shit, but whatever.
Here's
It
what I
works.
understand. You
Gets me
make that
going.
coffee
Yeah.
when you first get up or after you shower. How does this work? I want to
It
understand.
depends
how
on
it-
what's going. Like if I'm going to work, my wife usually makes it. She gets up and
That's
feeds the
amazing.
cats. She makes the coffee.
Cats.
But if
Okay.
it's the weekend, I'll
Uh-huh.
get up and I'll make the coffee. Yes.
All right. So on
Shout
the
out to my
weekend-
wife.
Okay,
Shout out,
but
man.
you have your first cup and then you go and you're drinking it on the way.
To work?
Yeah.
It depends on how hot it is.
What are you? What's the next step part of this question?
I'm exploring everyone's
It
personality.
depends on how hot it is. If it's like blazing hot, then I'll wait till I get to work, let it cool
Okay.
down. I eat my
And
breakfast.
So you chose to
You
go to
want
rock
to hear
first.
mine? I make a cup of coffee when I get up, and then about 30 minutes later, I make my second cup of coffee, and then about an hour later, I make my third cup of coffee, and then
Are you working from
Look,
home?
yeah. And I'm
You know
just,
what's funny? I was
So
thinking about.
you're a coffee nut.
I'm a coffee fiend. I don't put anything in it. Black.
man.
I like dark roast.
So you know what's so interesting to me? We went on that trip together, and I was trying to remember what you did coffee wise, and I couldn't remember. I
I
was
was
like,
making them in the room,
Right,
the hotel coffee.
yeah, I just totally was
So
blacked
you're banging
out.
out. How many cups of coffee you banging out a day, Meech?
It depends how tired I am, but usually 4 minimum.
Does that mess up your digestive?
No, not at all. It
Can I just
doesn't-
say
it
this?
doesn't mess with me at all. Like
Listen,
I
if
think
you
it-
had to predict,
I think it clears. It keeps me cleared.
I think anyone that watches
It's
this
black
podcast
coffee.
or knows who Meech is would just imagine you sitting at a diner in the Northeast drinking
Oh,
black coffee,
My favorite
cup
thing in the world.
after cup.
With a over easy
Yeah.
egg and a couple slices
Well,
of bacon.
I was
and
thinking-
some white
Wait,
toast.
where's this coffee conversation going?
Well, it goes back to my psychosis because I've been feeling really lame recently because, I transition. I always like hot coffee in the morning, to start the day. And then in the summer, the warmer months, I like that iced coffee.
Never had an iced coffee.
Iced coffee is all right. Go ahead, finish.
Well,
Easy.
now I'm
Easy rock.
transitioning back to
Easy
all
rock.
hot coffee. And, you guys might know this. I'm not sure, but my wife has, she started became a Pilates instructor, got certified for that. And then now she's doing like a whole like nutritional, like wellness program, So she like cut out all the bad stuff. And
Is coffee bad stuff?
nah, well, I actually don't think getting up and having coffee right away is all that good for you, but I still
The
do
bad
it.
stuff is the cream and sugar. You
Right,
put in
which
it.
Shocks the system.
but I started drinking oat milk, and let me just tell you how fraudulent every day when I go in and order a coffee, and I'm like, can I get a coffee? I'm gonna get a latte with oat milk, and it costs $7, and I'm like addicted to it. It's so pathetic. I feel so bad.
Oat
about
milk?
myself. Oat milk.
Why are you drinking oat milk, bro?
You know what the funny thing about oat milk is? Hear me out.
Because you're
Just
wait.
hear me out.
All right.
Normally, I like a little cream because it adds a little thickness to the coffee, but oat milk has a nuttiness to it.
What about
Sounds so
almond
lame.
milk?
Almond milk is good, but oat milk
Almond milk
is
is
just a
old.
little better.
Is
man.
it
I'm
coming-
telling you.
Oat milk
it's
is
still
so
in
much
what?
better.
It's just a little that oat milk is a little
Oat
fucking
milk
better.
is so much better than
But I'm
almond.
Yeah,
telling
wait.
you,
How did
now
we
I'm
go
getting
from
$7
How did we go
coffees.
from talking about the Cowboys, the Phillies, to talking about putting oat milk in your coffee?
It's just what I
Because
wanted
the
to talk
rest
about.
of the everything else annoys us and makes us angry. And
It's just
How we
what I
feel
wanted to talk
about-
Shout out Peddler Coffee and their Kyoto. You didn't come to
Now,
me
by
with
the way,
coffee question.
this guy over here,
the Kyoto King.
this guy Tom is.
Yeah, who's
is-
coming in here? Are we getting robbed?
Hold on.
Are we about to
This
get?
guy Tom is.
Are
a
we getting
psycho.
We're
robbed?
about to get got. Who's coming up the stairs?
where are they going to rob us?
Oh,
Oh, shit! I thought we were
Hold
getting robbed.
This guy Tom
Mark
is
Goodhart,
a
welcome to the
coffee-
podcast.
He looks
He
like
has-
he would rob us.
black coffee.
Get
all
back in the
time.
bar, dude. We
Yeah,
need
the
you in the
game's
bar.
still going on, Mark.
All right, hold on.
So you had the empty seats?
Time out. Mark Goodhart has arrived. He said that he could not come to the podcast because he's going to the Sixers game. But it turns out he was at his daughter's softball game, but he's come in a Canada Goose jacket. So it's not all adding up. We'll have to hear from him when
It
he
ain't even that
sorts himself.
cold enough for a fucking Canada Goose. Dude, it's like 50 degrees outside, ain't it?
A lot of hate. It's windy. It's windy.
Yo, I had the healthy
Nut up.
Tom,
vodka out this morning.
seriously though, how many full-on black iced coffees do you drink a day?
Probably 2.
Like 6. I mean, these are
I
big.
have a whole situation. You know,
Although I have seen
really
you-
almost exclusively drink Kyoto iced coffee, which is a
Who's Kyoto?
method. I'm not
Is that
even
the
gonna get into it.
Vietnamese?
But Peddler Coffee are people at 21st and Spring. Shout out Lindsay and Chris. That's where I get it, and that's all I.
Is that what you got in your cup right now?
Yep.
And this has been Coffee Talk with Linda Richmond.
Yeah, so if you want to get the percolator and you
Somebody
press some
please get
coffee in
that.
there and you press it down, and maybe a French press, that's what we're talking about right now. What else are we talking about tonight besides coffee?
That's it.
It's 38 degrees.
That's it.
It's 38 degrees.
We banged out in an hour.
Wooly.
Okay.
Yeah, can we get Wooly up in the fucking? Yeah, Wooly, click that link, bro.
Hold on. Here's what I know. What do we got coming up? We know we're doing one thing.
Cowboys, Eagles.
Beat
The
Bill.
obvious.
Hey, Bills Mafia.
Ooh.
Come and see me.
Yo,
Come see me. Because here's
Yo.
the deal. Here's the deal. Bills Mafia, November 26th. Tailgate.
Careful.
Birds of a feather.
Careful.
No, Birds of a Feather. Part 3. City Pigeons. We're throwing down. And look.
Bills Mafia, this is an offer you can't refuse.
No.
Fink is jumping through a table.
Yeah.
Fink is jumping through a table. Maybe.
I do too.
Maybe.
I got
Yeah.
no beef with the Bills Mafia, man.
I
They
do
seem
love
like
the Bills
animals.
Mafia.
I love them.
I don't know what that means.
I have 2 things I want to say.
Sure, go ahead.
Oh, great.
There he comes.
There we go.
Go ahead,
Wow.
buddy.
Number one, Rock, it's 44 degrees outside. When it was 80 5 days ago, that's the equivalent of it being 14 degrees outside.
So-
How your body feels. I was standing on a big open field in Essington, Pennsylvania. It was I needed
Just to make
more
up
than
for
a
this
Canada
mistake.
Goose jacket.
Okay.
All right. I respect that.
Okay.
I respect that.
No.
I didn't know you were on a
What's
big
number
open
two?
field.
3 hours.
What's
All right. I
number two?
knew you were on a
Number
big open
2.
field.
I am so with Rock. Having your backup catcher talk smack is like the backup quarterback jumping in the mix. It is such bad mojo.
Doing all this
it's
shit.
horrible. From that moment on, it was all downhill.
Correct.
Dude can't be on the team anymore. I mean, he needs to go away, go do your
You see Biggie
dancing.
not
He's a
Somewhere
cheerleader, bro.
else.
He's a cheerleader.
I want you guys
And-
to know I'm looking at Meech and the look on his face, considering this is the 3rd time we've revisited the Phillies, he's very angry.
Do you
Yeah,
know
we might as well
Garrett
get
Stubbs-
stuff some pom poms.
He had
Bottom
24
line.
hits this year. 7 of them were bunt singles.
Yeah.
Just get out of here,
Yeah.
dude.
Give
No one
him
wants
some
to hear
pom-poms.
from you. It's like Bubby Brister
Act like you've been
talking
there, right?
smack
Wow,
when
he
he
went
was
Bubby
backing up
Brister.
Randall Cunningham.
Any backup catcher behind JT Realmuto is insignificant. The dude plays fucking 140 games a year. Who gives a fuck? Let Garrett Stubbs stay. It's not his fault we lost. He didn't have one
Get him out of
at-bat.
there. Get him
He
out
didn't
of
fucking
there.
catch one inning. He didn't fucking do anything. It's not
Nobody
his fault.
partied harder than him. You know?
Wooly. Yeah, let him in.
All right,
Let
put him
Wooly
in for the closing remarks.
Wooly, what we got?
Wooly, wooly, wooly,
Wooly
wooly,
also.
You hear me?
Yo,
What up? What up?
Why are you
Wooly,
completely
wooly.
black?
wooly, wooly. What was that from Summer?
Dude, this is
I don't
like
think
a
it's
Zoom
working.
call
Summer
at work.
rental?
You have to turn your camera on.
Well, we need to see you, bro. We've seen you a million times. We need to see you right now.
Tom, look at your boy.
What's up, Willie? Listen, I
Woo.
doubt our.
Where's
Yeah,
Wooly?
it's
In the
working.
cave?
We can hear you.
We can
can't
hear
see
you.
you.
We can't see you though, bro. Where you at right now?
Okay.
In Kensington? Where you at? Right now?
I'm
Maybe he doesn't want to
outside.
be seen.
I'm
You
outside,
outside?
smoking a cigar.
Oh,
at
he's
the fire
outside
pit.
smoking a cigar in the
Yo,
northern suburbs.
respect.
Will, how you feel about this Phillies debacle?
No, we're done. Don't
Rock,
even stop.
shut the
stop,
fuck
stop.
up, please, dude.
If Willie's gonna talk about
Please.
anything, it's gonna be.
I'm going to the
Dallas.
fucking bathroom. How's that?
Okay. Wooly, how do you feel about the Cowboys?
I mean, I'm kind of with you, man. I feel like I'm kind of tapped out from the Phillies. But it was like this last year, I think, too. We were like
We didn't have the same
8-1,
energy.
But I think this Cowboys game, win or lose, it's gonna snap us back.
Yeah, right.
Snap
That's
us
for
back
sure.
from what?
That's for sure. All right, Wooly, listen, you got to get your camera working, man.
Will,
can't
we
have
need
you
to
on here
see
if
you,
you're
bro.
not square.
He's just outside smoking a cigar.
I know, but we should be able to see him.
It's 38 degrees. I can verify it.
It's 38 degrees. You can verify.
Mark's look at Wooly full screen. Mark is validated and is Canada Goose. All right, look.
All right.
Let's get him out of
holler
here.
in the chat. I'll holler in the
Thanks,
chat.
Willie.
Well,
Thanks
we'll,
for
You
we'll
should
see.
come down
We'll
and
see,
see
bro.
us.
Yeah.
Come see us,
He
dude.
said, yeah. His last comment in the chat was, I'm living that pour over life. Yo,
That dude's awesome, yo.
I legit have no idea at this point what we're doing anymore, but I love it.
Let's
I'm
wrap
having
it up.
fun.
Let's
Wrap it up.
That's it. Aleko, cue the outro.
There's
Yo,
a line
go to
for
the bathroom. There's some shady shit going on
Wait,
over
wait,
the
wait.
bathroom.
We're back.
Can we
Wait,
pan
get
over
that-
to the
get those
bathroom?
goons first.
We got the good heart.
Oh, he was standing
got
in line.
Meech.
Never mind. He was standing.
They're
in
doing
line.
some weird shit at the bathroom. That's
Aleko, cue that outro, dude.
Cue
Let's
that
roll
out.
this
Yeah,
thing.
let's get out of
Ladies
here.
and gentlemen, thank you for joining.